Michael Joachim, Mr. Excellence. How are you guys? Today I wanted to talk about the economy. When you guys hear about the economy, what do you guys hear? What do you hear on that, Roland? When somebody says the economy, Hector.
Um, we're a little nervous about the COVID, and then now we have war. So I'm not sure, Hector. I'll get back to you.
Okay, so I'll give you guys an example. I came in when in 1984, when interest rates before I got in, the talk was that they were at 21%, 19%. When I got into the business, the rates were at 13.5% fixed rates, 11% variable. That's what it was in 84. Now the difference between that, the houses were like 60,000, 65,000. So, but now to have a big interest rate on a price that's almost 8 times more than what it was back then, it's gonna hurt us. But see, here's the thing on the economy. The day we need to start worrying, besides of course the war and all that, but on a regular, the day we start worrying that people are not dying anymore, people are not getting a divorce anymore, people are not inheriting properties anymore, that's going to drive the economy to the ground. Because you know what happens is that that's what's created the economy. People get married, they want a house. People get a divorce, they want to sell. People get older, they want something bigger. As they get older, hey, the 2-story I bought, I can't go up the stairs, so they want to downsize. People want to relocate, people want to retire. People want, hey, somebody passed away, they inherit some property. So the thing is that the market is going to change whether rates are high, rates are low. People are still going to want to sell and buy. Will it slow down a little bit? Sure, it'll slow down. But guess what? The government will do whatever it takes to keep the market stimulating, especially after learning about the last 3 recessions that we've had. So they're going to do something, the lenders, they'll do a 40-year loan, they'll do a 50-year loan to get those payments down, an interest-only loan, but something's going to happen. But what's not going to change is you guys. See, in order to attack an economy, you have to be your own economy. Think about this. If you played sports and you're a shortstop, if the ball comes to you and you just wait for it and you throw them out, you're not gonna, nothing's gonna happen. As the ball gets hit to you, you gotta run to it, pick it up, and boom, throw them out on that. Same thing, and if you're batting, if you're just like this and, no power right there. But if you get with a stance and that's where you can hit the ball hard. Well, here's the thing. We got to hit the economy hard by you guys being as aggressive as you can. Think about this. Certain economy, hey, I knock on 100 doors, I pick up a listing. I knock on 100 doors, I pick up a listing. I knock on 100 doors, I pick up a listing. Okay, what type of economy is that? That's an economy that somebody says, hey, you know what? If you sell your house in the next 90 days, you don't have to pay taxes on what you sell. Do you think that would stimulate a lot of people and say, hey, on that, so 100 doors listing, 100 doors listing, 100 doors listing, okay? If you're on a buyer's economy, if you're like on a seller's right now, well, wait a second. I have a house that's worth $700,000 and they keep going up. I'm just gonna sit on this house. I know I want to sell, but I'm gonna sit on this house until it maxes out. Then I'm gonna go ahead and sell it. So guess what? It slows down. I can knock on 100 doors, nothing. 100 doors, nothing. I can go up to like 5,000 doors and finally pick something up. The problem is though, the fact that it's 100 doors or it's 5,000 doors, it depends where the agent is going to quit. If you get 1,000 doors on that, you can come in the back to the back. If you get 1,000 doors, and you get a listing, the chances that you're going to quit are not going to be big, right? But what if, Roland, you're at 10,000 doors and nothing has happened? What are the chances you might quit? There's a big chance. There's a big chance. Hey, the market, nothing's happening. Life is terrible. What do we need to do? So what is the answer to that? The answer to that is that you got to do more. You got to do more because somebody's going to get the business. If I quit at 10,000 doors and the other guy goes to 15 and then all of a sudden he starts picking up business, he's going to stay in business. I'm going to quit. If it's 20,000 doors, then it's 20,000. Somebody is going to quit. So where is your quitting mode? At what point? At what point? You know, when the economy hit, I talked to brokers that had a lot of money when the recession hit. They had a couple $1 million and this and that. And guess what? A lot of people were falling on the economy, closing down, and these guys were going. It's just like 2-3 years later is when they had to close down. You're going to run out of gas no matter what, maybe at the beginning or at the end. But at the end, you're still going to run out of gas unless you're able to replenish. So here's what I think. I think you should attack the economy and let the economy come to you. If I'm running. Hey, I'm stepping hard for camera purposes, so it sounds like a movie. Okay. And all of a sudden, it starts to get windy. It gets windy. What do I have to do? I have to adjust down to keep going. You can't go back or you're gonna go back. So you just gotta adjust what you gotta do. I remember the economy, there was no trust in sales. No people, this was like 2009. I went through like 40,000 flyers and nothing. And I says, oh my gosh, am I losing my touch? No, there was no trust. People were just throwing it in the trash. There was no trust. Today there's trust. There's trust in real estate. Why? Because it's getting expensive. It's getting expensive. And guess what you got to do? You got to go ahead and pace yourself in a certain way that all of a sudden it's going to work for you. Let's say today, if I came back into the business today, my goal would be 300 doors. 300 doors. Why? Why 300 doors a day? Why 300 magazines? Why 300 whatever? Is because at 300, I'm going to hit about 77,000 people. And at 77,000 people, it will secure me to go ahead and meet about 20 people that want to buy or sell. And if it gives me 20 people, I'm going to make about $250,000. Imagine $250,000. And all I got to do is do 300 a day, every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on that. And guess what? All of a sudden, you'll do that. The economy slows down. I'm already used to 300 doors. Hey, so I might have to boost it up to about 350. Because guess what? Now I'm not going to meet those 20 people. Now I'm at 350. At 300, it's going to drop down to about 15. I'm used to making so much money. If I end up at 17 transactions, I could still make 200 grand. Okay. The market gets better. Okay. What happens when it gets better? The 300 doors that you're doing, all of a sudden now you're doing 40 transactions. Oh shit. I got too many transactions. I need an assistant. I need a buyer's agent. I need this. I need that. And guess what? You start going down from 300 to about 200, and you have an assistant do the other 100. Sometimes you got to go down to 100. Let the assistant do 200 a day. But guess what? You got to balance it out so that way you can continue making the sales. But a lot of us, the real estate industry, if you are a normal human being, are you normal, Robert?
I try to be.
Okay, if you're a normal human being, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do 100, you're not going to do 50, you're not going to do 25 on that if you are a normal. It's the extraordinary people that go the extra mile. Think about that. Think of what I just said. If you're a normal person in real estate, you're not going to do it. Why? Because right now, why is it that 5% of the agents make 90% of the income? 5% make 90%. That means these 5% are the extraordinary ones. The other 95% of the agents are existing. And you don't want to be there. You don't want to be there. Because if you exist, you're only going to make a sale when somebody calls you. Hey, grandma says, hey, my friend wants to sell, and you're going to get a lead. Like I said, my phone's been with me since 1984. The same number. Maybe it changed area codes a couple times. Do you remember, Gigi? And correct me if I'm wrong. When the phone, let's say the office number 9484553, there was no zip code. Do you remember when there was no area code?
No, I'm not old.
Well,
No, I don't.
yeah. Well, guess what? There was no area code at one time, and then they brought in the 213. I think 213 used to be here, and then it became 310, and then it became 562. So guess what? At least that's in my time. So now the same phone number has been with me for all that time. And if I live on the phone to ring, even though I have 38 years in the business, I'll make 1 or 2 sales. Because, selling real estate is not something that happens all the time. So you got to go to the market. You got to go to the market. Just like the shortstop, the second baseman. You ever notice even the first baseman, he's like this. If he just stands like this, he'll get people out. But have you ever seen them that they go like this? They stretch out so that way the ball hits quick and they're out. Everything is going the extra mile, guys. The extra mile. So guess what? 300 doors a day is a lot. But you know what? You got to prepare for it. Think about this. Who saw the LA Marathon this weekend on Sunday? I didn't see it. I just saw bits and pieces on that. But I remember one time I posted, I said, I'm going to, me and Rosita are getting ready for the LA Marathon. And I started calling. They started, hey, are you going to run it? I didn't answer anybody. But in the morning I got up, I ordered some menudo. We turned on the TV and we started watching it and say, hey, we're getting ready for the LA Marathon with a bowl of menudo to watch it. So everybody says, oh, okay, my dear, but see, here's the thing. The guys that are running the marathon, if you tell right now, if I tell Roland right now, if I tell you guys all right now, you're going to run 27 miles, okay, or you're going to die. Oh, no, I'd rather run. But somewhere along, you can come in, somewhere along the way, you're gonna fall out at 5 miles, at 3 miles, at every miles. But guess what? If Robert starts hitting 25 doors, see, here's the thing. If Robert goes and does 25 doors a day, 25 doors, he's gonna do 25 doors. It'll take him maybe 15 minutes. And on Tuesday, 25. The whole week he does 25. And then what happens is his body's going to get used to it. So the next week he's going to say, you know what, I'm going to try 50. And you know what? He does 50. His body gets used to it. His legs, his joints, everything gets used to it. You build up to 100. You build up to 200. You build up to 300. And once you do that, you just got to keep it consistent. Because think about it. And I'll pick on Robert today. Robert, you know your production for last year.
Yes.
You know what you sold, and you know what you did,
Correct.
and you know how much you prospect and everything. Let me ask you this. Did you work to your potential?
No.
No. What percentage did you work at?
10%.
10%. See, 10%. 10% of the people make 90% of the income. You know, in other words, you want to jump. If you're over here on this side, you want to jump over here. So guess what? What could you have done different last year than what you did? Because you already lived it. The time has gone. It's under the belt, the whole thing. What could you have done different based on what you know today?
Use my time with value.
Okay.
So put more value into my time by doing more, even if I work 1 hour, whether I'm working 10 hours and doing very little.
Right. So let me ask you this. If you, based on your mind, and you worked at 10%, what percentage that you think would you be at if you did it over again?
At 90%.
90%?
90% this year.
Okay, so you're gonna attempt 90% on that. I disagree with you on that only because it takes a while to get up there, just like an airplane, and then all of a sudden it takes off, and you're at 10,000. I think if based on what you
I'm at
do,
25 right now, Mike. I'm barely
okay,
up to 90.
okay, so you did 10%. So if you go ahead and do all these changes, I believe you would go at 40%. At 40%, yes, Roland.
I think, well, you're only as good as your last transaction. So my last transaction was this one here, all cash. 548,000.
Go ahead.
So you're only as good as your last transaction. You have to move on.
Okay.
But it took me like 5 months to get this transaction.
Right. But you see, the consistency that you do every day is what's gonna give you the results for down the road. See, I've yet, there's people that are making a lot of money, and they're making more money than me, and they've done it a different way on that. But in the door knocking scene, I've yet to meet somebody that had the passion that I've had in my career. They try it, okay, did a couple, but not consistent. To me, at this time, all the time, guess what? I come to the office at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock already, and I'm 300 doors under my belt. There was times that I go with my dad, and we're sitting in the car, and it's dark, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and I said, okay, got 6:01, 6:02, look, we got 30 seconds. In 30 seconds, the lights will go on. 30 seconds hit, the light went on, and we get off the car, and we start going. And you know what? And we were there at 6:20 already, dropping off, bam. Everything. By the time we were done, we had 300-400 doors under our, and not doors. We had 300-400 opportunities already laid down. And here I am, at the meeting at 11 o'clock and everything, and I was already ahead of everybody else. Everybody else was just trying to get set up. So I had that regimen. I had that professionalism that I says, you know what? I'm just very consistent. And guess what? With the consistency, it mushrooms into a lot of things. You start an organization, the organization grows, everything goes, and we move forward and forward. But see, it's not too late for you guys to do it. You just got to start now. Got to start now, and start building. And if it takes even 100, build up at even 5 doors. Roland, I want you to get your ass out there and do 5 doors, and just 5, even if you struggle, boom, guess what? I told you guys a story and I'll close it out. Ernie Zimmerman and Jack Epplin. Jack Epplin was in a wheelchair. He had muscular dystrophy. And Ernie Zimmerman was an older guy, about 78, a guy from Nebraska. When you heard him talk, he would say, well, Roland, today was a beautiful day, and, we're going to go out there. He was a butcher, of the time. And they came to me and they says, hey, can I work for you at the Whittier office? And I says, man, these guys are just going to be But I told them, I says, look, if you give me 25 doors a day just to keep them busy, go out there, they go out there. He says, what do you think, Ernie? I'm okay, Jack, let's do it. And guess what? They started with 25. Ernie would push him on the wheelchair. All right, Jack. Go out and all right, Ernie, go out and put the flyer. Okay. You put it in. You come back. Let's go to the next one. They started with 25 doors, and, a year later, they tell me, hey, my God, we're up at 150 doors a day. I mean, here on a wheelchair, during the hot, they had the umbrella. I told them, take the umbrella so you can get better MPG, on that. And that way the sun wouldn't beat them down. And you know what? They sold more real estate in those couple years that they were with me than they ever in their 40-year career of real estate, per year. Eventually Ernie, he passed away, and nobody could push Jack anymore, so he just retired and went, up north somewhere. But you know what? They had to start. I asked them 25. That's all I want, 25. Report to me, 25. And they built it up to about 150 a day. So see, we got to create our own market, because guess what? You're going to go ahead and build it. If you buy Zillow leads today, is it going to cost you money? It's going to cost you money. But see, they already did the work. That's why they could sell them to you. If I go out and pass out my 300, I already did the work. I don't need to buy Zillow. I don't need to get Realtor.com, because I will create my own leads. And my own leads, what's going to happen is I'm going to get so many leads, I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, Danny, I got a listing appointment. I'll be in Vegas this week, and you want to go 50-50? And he'll go. I got a buyer on this. Can somebody take it? I'll give you a 20% referral. Think about it. I gave a 20% referral yesterday to Jacqueline's mom. On a client that we have from a long time. It was for $2,700. You know what? A 20% referral that closed. So if you give out 10 referrals a month, and that's 27 times, that's $27,000. Create your own leads. And guess what? When you have too many leads, you farm them out to your colleagues. Mr. Excellence signing out.